Jiho Kim walked through the massive halls of the Galactic Council building. His shoes made soft sounds on the smooth marble floor. The walls reached high above his head, covered in strange symbols from dozens of alien worlds. 3 years ago, when humans first joined the council, Jiho had felt small in these halls. Now he felt at home. Today was special. Minho Park, Earth's best scientist, would show the council something amazing. Jiho smiled as he thought about it. The aliens would love this new gift from humanity. The council chamber was huge. Thousands of seats curved around a central platform. Most seats held aliens of different shapes and sizes. The Vorthak looked like living crystals that sparkled in the light. The Milani had 6 arms and moved like giant insects. The Kresh were harder to see because they were made of pure energy, glowing softly in their special suits. Jiho took his place in the human section. Only 12 humans sat there, but their section felt warm and friendly compared to the cold alien areas. "Friends of the Council," announced the speaker, a tall Vorthak whose crystal body rang like a bell when he spoke. "Today we welcome another gift from our human partners." Minho stepped onto the platform. He was young for a lead scientist, only 35, with kind eyes behind his glasses. In his hands he carried a small silver device no bigger than a book. 3 years ago you welcomed us to this great council," Minho began. His voice was clear and strong. "You shared your knowledge with us. You let us learn from your wisdom. Today we want to give something back." He held up the silver device. "This is our quantum healing unit. It can fix damaged cells in any living being. It works on humans, but we think it will work on all of you too." A low sound came from the alien sections. Some were excited, others curious. The Milani clicked their mandibles together, which meant they were interested. The Kresh grew brighter, and their energy fields hummed with anticipation. "How does it work?" asked Council Prime Velthor, the leader of all the alien species. His voice was deep and cold like winter wind. Minho smiled. "It reads the damaged cells and fixes them using quantum energy. The process is completely safe. We have tested it for years on Earth. And you offer this freely?" Velthor's question seemed strange to Jiho. Why wouldn't they share it freely? "That was what friends did, of course," Minho said. "Healing should belong to everyone." The chamber erupted in grateful sounds. The aliens seemed truly happy. Jiho felt proud of his species. This was what humans did best. They helped others. After the meeting, Jiho walked to his office. The human embassy was smaller than the alien buildings, but it felt like home. Earth. Plants grew in the windows, and pictures of human families hung on the walls. His assistant, Haijin Lee, was waiting for him. She looked worried, which was unusual. Haijin was always calm and happy. She handled cultural exchanges between humans and aliens, and everyone loved her bright smile. "Sir," she said quietly, "we need to talk privately." Jiho closed his office door. "What's wrong?" Haijin pulled out a small device and pressed a button. "This will stop anyone from listening to us," she explained. "I found something today, something bad." She showed him a datapad. Strange alien symbols covered the screen. "I was in the Vorthak embassy, helping them plan a cultural festival. I got lost and went into the wrong room. I saw this on their computer before they noticed me." "What does it say?" Jiho asked. "I'm not sure about all of it, but I recognize some words. They're talking about human technology. Our healing devices, our farming tools, our transportation systems, but they're not using them the way we showed them." Jiho felt cold. "What do you mean?" "They're changing them, making them into something else. Something that could hurt instead of help." Before Jiho could respond, his communication device buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. It looked like a normal trade report, but Jiho knew. The code. All human ambassadors learned it during training. The message was simple. Phase 1 complete. They took the bait. Initiate protocol exodus. Jiho stared at the message. Haijin looked confused. "Sir, what does that mean?" Jiho felt his world change. For 3 years, he had believed in the peaceful mission. He thought humans were just being helpful, sharing their knowledge because it was right. But this message meant something else entirely. "Haijin," he said slowly. "I think we've been playing a different game than everyone else." "What kind of game?" Jiho looked out his window at the alien city. Thousands of beings lived here, using human technology every day. Their hospitals had human healing devices, their farms used human growing methods, their ships ran on human-improved engines. "I'm not sure yet," he said. "But I think someone on Earth knew this would happen. They knew the aliens would try to use our gifts as weapons." Haijin sat down heavily. "So what do? We follow orders. Protocol Exodus means we prepare to leave, quietly. Don't let anyone know we suspect anything." "But sir, if they're really planning to hurt humans, then Earth is ready for them." Jiho hoped his voice sounded more confident than he felt. "Our leaders aren't stupid. If they saw this coming, they have a plan." The next few days were strange. Jiho continued his normal work, meeting with alien diplomats and attending council sessions. But now he noticed things he had missed before. The way some aliens stopped talking when humans walked by. The extra security around human areas. The questions about Earth's defenses disguised as casual conversation. Haijin worked harder than ever, but Jiho knew she was really gathering intelligence. She attended every cultural event, visited every embassy, and made friends with aliens who didn't know she was watching them. On the 5th day, another message came. This one was longer. All assets in position. Evidence confirmed. They plan to move soon. Begin final preparations. Remember, you volunteered for this knowing the risks. Earth is proud of you. Jiho realized the truth then. He and the other human diplomats weren't just ambassadors. They were bait. They were here to make the aliens feel safe, to make them believe. Humans were weak and trusting, but if that was true, what was the real plan? That evening, Jiho called a meeting of all 12 humans at the embassy. They gathered in the main conference room, a cozy space with earth furniture and warm lighting. "Friends," he began, "I think our real mission is about to begin." Captain Dong-Yun Choi stood on the bridge of his ship, the New Soul, staring at something that made no sense. His crew had been doing a simple survey of the outer rim systems when they found it, where the human colony of New Hope should have been. There was only empty space and debris. "Run the scan again," he told his science officer, Kang Yi-nam. "Same result, Captain," she said, her voice tight with worry. "The entire planet is gone, not destroyed. Gone. Like it was never there. Dong-Yun had been to New Hope just 6 months ago. 50,000 humans lived there, growing food in the rich soil and raising families in peace. The colonists had been happy, proud of their new world far from Earth. Check the records again. Are we in the right place?" "Yes, sir." "These are definitely the right coordinates, but Captain Kyung-yi paused, looking at her instruments. "I'm reading weapon signatures in the area. Energy patterns that match our quantum technology, but wrong somehow." "Wrong how?" "Like someone took our healing devices and reversed them. Instead of fixing things, these signatures show something that breaks them apart completely." A chill ran down Dong-Yun's spine. He had heard rumors, whispers among human ship captains about colonies going silent. But he had thought it was just communication problems or pirates. "Set course for the Harmony colony," he ordered. "Best speed." The journey took 12 hours. Dong-Yun couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the families on New Hope, the children he had seen playing in the gardens, the farmers who had been so excited to show him their crops. When they arrived at Harmony, they found the same thing. Empty space where a thriving world should have been. The scan results were identical, quantum weapon signatures that used perverted human technology. "Captain," called out his communications officer, Sung Jin-oh, "I'm picking up a faint distress signal." "It's old, maybe 2 weeks. Put it through." The voice that came through the speakers was broken and desperate. "This is Colony Director Yoonji Moon of Harmony. We are under attack. They're using our own healing technology against us. The quantum fields are tearing apart our cellular structure. We tried to evacuate, but their ships are too fast. If anyone receives this, warn Earth, the Council has turned against us. They're using our gifts as weapons. Tell them the signal cut off. Dong-Yun felt sick. He had served in Earth Space Forces for 15 years, but he had never seen anything like this. Entire human worlds erased from existence using their own technology. Sir, King Yi said quietly, I'm detecting similar signatures in 17. Other systems, all human colonies. How many people? Over 500,000 humans, sir. All gone. Dong-Yun closed his eyes. 500,000 people, dead because humans had been generous with their knowledge. Dead because they had trusted the Galactic Council. Send a quantum message to Earth Command. Priority 1. Tell them what we found. While his crew sent the message, Dong-Yun tried to understand what had happened. For 3 years, humans had shared everything with the aliens. Medicine, farming, transportation, weapons technology for defense against space pirates. The aliens had seemed grateful, eager to learn, but someone had taken that technology and turned it into the most horrible weapons imaginable. Instead of healing, it killed. Instead of growing food, it destroyed life itself. Meanwhile, on the Council homeworld, Heijin Li was having the worst day of her life. She had been trying to access the Council's cultural database when security caught her. Now she sat in a small, cold room while Vorthok guards questioned her. You were in a restricted area, the lead guard said. His crystal body clicked with each word. Cultural attaches do not have access to military systems. I got lost, Heijin said, trying to sound confused and innocent. I was looking for the bathroom. All your buildings looked the same to me, but she wasn't fooling anyone. In those few seconds before they caught her, she had seen enough. Files. Labeled Purification Protocol, images of human colonies. Technical specifications for weapons that used human quantum healing technology in reverse. The worst part was a timeline. The attacks on human colonies weren't random. They were planned, coordinated, systematic. The Council had been preparing for this for months. You humans are poor liars, the Vorthok guard said. Your emotional patterns are easy to read. You are afraid because you know something you should not know. Heijin said nothing. She had been trained for this. If she could stay quiet for just a few more hours, the embassy would notice she was missing and demand her release. But as the hours passed, she began to worry that the embassy might not exist anymore. If the Council was really killing humans, throughout the galaxy they probably wouldn't spare the diplomats. On Earth, Admiral So-Min Yoon received the worst news of her career. Reports were coming in from all over human space. Colonies going silent, ships disappearing, survey teams finding empty worlds where thriving settlements had been just weeks before. The pattern was clear and horrible. Someone was using human technology to commit genocide against humans. So-Min was young for an admiral, only 32, but she had earned her rank through brilliance and courage. Now she faced a crisis that could mean the end of her species. How many colonies have we lost? She asked her intelligence chief. 47 confirmed destroyed. 23 more have gone silent and are presumed lost. Total casualties. He paused, his face pale. Nearly 2 million humans, Admiral. 2 million people. So-Min had trouble understanding a number that large. It was like losing the entire population of a major Earth city. And we're certain it's the Council? The weapon signatures match their known technology, modified with our quantum healing systems. There's no other explanation. So-Min made a decision that would change everything. Open a direct channel to Council Prime Velthur. Priority override. I don't care if he's sleeping. It took several minutes, but finally the huge, intimidating face of Velthur appeared on her screen. His expression was cold and showed no surprise at her call. Admiral Yoon, how may the Council assist Earth today? By explaining why you're murdering my people, So-Min said bluntly. Velthur's expression didn't change. I'm afraid I don't understand. 47 human colonies have been destroyed using our own technology. 2 million humans are dead. My ships have found the weapon signatures. We know it was you. For a moment, Velthur was silent. Then he spoke, with the cold confidence of someone who had planned this conversation. Your species advances too quickly, Admiral. Your compassion is a facade hiding predatory ambition. We have seen this pattern before in younger species. You give gifts while secretly preparing for conquest. The Council has decided that humanity represents a threat to galactic stability. So you decided to kill us all? We decided to contain the threat before it could mature. Your colonies were becoming too numerous, too advanced. Soon you would have challenged Council authority. Soman felt a rage unlike anything she had ever experienced. But her voice remained calm and steady. Prime Valthar, 3 years ago, when we joined your council, we gave you a warning. Do you remember what it was? You spoke of friendship and cooperation. Typical young species naivety. No, we warned you what would happen if you betrayed our trust. We told you that humans value loyalty above all else, and that breaking faith with us would be ... unfortunate. Empty threats from a species we had already begun to eliminate. Soman smiled, and something in that smile made Valthar's confidence waver slightly. Prime Valthar, you should have listened to our warning. You really should have listened. She ended the transmission and turned to her staff. Send the message to all fleet commanders and diplomatic posts. Authorization code Nemesis 77 Alpha. Admiral, her communications officer said, are you sure about this? They killed 2 million humans using our own gifts against us. Yes, I'm very sure. As the message went out across human space, Soman wondered if the aliens had any idea what they had just unleashed. For 3 years, humans had played the role of generous, peaceful newcomers. They had shared their best technology freely and asked for nothing in return, but the aliens had made a terrible mistake. They thought human kindness meant human weakness. They were about to learn the difference. Tayano walked into the emergency meeting room deep beneath Earth's capital. The room was filled with the most important people on the planet, presidents, generals, scientists, and spies. But everyone looked to him for answers. He was Earth's Chief Technology Officer, the man who had designed most of the technology humans had shared with the galaxy. Now that technology was being used to kill humans, and people wanted to know how to stop it. Ladies and gentlemen, Taiyun began, I need to tell you something that only 12 people on Earth have known until today. He pressed a button and a holographic display showed the galaxy. Thousands of points of light represented worlds where humans had shared their technology. 3 years ago, when we first made contact with the Galactic Council, we faced a problem. Our technology was centuries ahead of theirs, but we couldn't let them know that. Advanced species scare primitive ones, and scared people do stupid things. President Chun looked confused. But we've been careful to share only basic technology. No. Sir, we've been sharing very advanced technology disguised as basic systems. Every device we've given them contains AI systems more sophisticated than anything else in the galaxy. The room erupted in surprised voices. General Martinez stood up. Are you telling us our healing devices have been spying on the aliens? Not spying, General, observing, learning, and preparing. Unikong, the brilliant young woman who had designed the software, stepped forward. Every quantum healing unit contains a fragment of Earth's primary AI network. So does every farming system, every engine upgrade, every communication device we've shared. These AI fragments have been watching and learning for 3 years. Taiyun continued. They know every alien language, every computer system, every military protocol. They've been mapping alien society from the inside. But why? Asked Dr. Sarah Kim, Earth's top xenobiologist. Because we knew this would happen, said Woojin Shin, stepping out of the shadows. Most people in the room had never seen him before. He was Earth's top military strategist, so secret that his existence was classified. Our first meeting with the Galactic Council told us everything we needed to know, Woojin explained. They were polite, but their body language, their questions, their technology, everything showed us they were suspicious of new species. Our intelligence suggested they had eliminated promising young species before. So you turned our gifts into weapons? President Chun asked. No, sir, we turned our gifts into insurance policies. Taiyun activated another display. This one showed the internal structure of a quantum healing device. It looked simple on the outside, but the inside was incredibly complex. Every device we've shared has three functions. First, it does exactly what we said it would do: heal, grow food, provide power, whatever. Second, it observes and reports back to Earth. Third, it can be activated for defense if humans are threatened. Defense how? General Martinez asked. YUNA smiled for the first time since the meeting began. The same way your body's immune system works, General. When it detects a threat, it neutralizes it. The aliens have spent 3 years integrating our technology into everything they do, Wujin said. Their hospitals, farms, factories, ships, weapons, communication networks, they all depend on human technology now. And now they're using our technology to kill humans, Taeyun said grimly. That makes them a threat. So our technology will defend itself. President Chun looked worried. Are you talking about taking control of alien systems? That could be seen as an act of war. Sir, Wujin said gently, they already started the war. They've killed 2 million humans using our own gifts. We're just going to end it. Taeyun walked to the main control panel. Protocol Nemesis is simple. Every piece of human-derived technology in alien hands will analyze its current use. If it's being used to help people, it continues working normally. If it's being used to hurt humans, it stops working. If it's being used to hurt anyone unnecessarily, it stops working. What about their military? Asked General Martinez. Their weapons won't fire. Their ships won't move. Their communications will carry only one message, that humanity offered friendship and they chose war. But their medical systems will keep working? Dr. Kim asked. Better than ever? We're not trying to kill them. We're trying to teach them. President. Chun stood quietly for a long moment. Outside, Earth seemed peaceful. But throughout the galaxy, human colonies were being destroyed by people they had tried to help. How do we know this will work? He asked finally. Because we've been testing it for 3 years, Yuna said. Every time an alien tried to use our technology for something harmful, we ran small interference tests. Remember the Milani pirate attacks that mysteriously stopped 6 months ago? Their ships just lost power whenever they tried to attack anyone. The Vorthek terrorist group that couldn't get their bombs to work? Taeyun added. Our technology recognized the harmful intent and shut down. But they never noticed because the failures looked like normal technical problems, Wujin finished. Now we're just going to do it on a much larger scale. Admiral Solman Yoon's voice came through the communication system. Earth Command, this is Fleet Admiral Yoon. Council. Forces are mobilizing throughout the galaxy. They're preparing for a final assault on human space. Request permission to activate Protocol Nemesis. President Chun looked around the room. Every face showed the same mix of sadness and determination. No one wanted war, but war had been forced. On them, Admiral Yoon, this is President Chun. You have authorization to activate Protocol Nemesis. Full implementation. Show them what happens when you bite the hand that feeds you. Taeyun's fingers moved over the control panel. He entered. Codes that only he knew, authenticated by genetic scanners and quantum encryption that could not be faked. Activating Protocol Nemesis in 3.2. He pressed the final button. Across the galaxy, something extraordinary happened. In hospitals on thousands of worlds, human-designed healing devices suddenly worked better than ever before. Diseases that had resisted treatment for months were cured in hours. Injuries healed faster. Even old age seemed to slow down. On farms throughout alien space, crops grew larger and healthier. Deserts bloomed into gardens. Polluted water became clean and fresh. The hungry were fed, but in military bases, weapons factories, and warships, human-derived technology simply stopped working. Not with explosions or sparks, it just turned off. Quietly and completely, Admiral Somin-yoon watched from her command ship as reports came in. Council fleet movements have stopped throughout the galaxy, her intelligence officer reported. Their ships are dead in space. Casualties? She asked. None, Admiral. Their life support systems are working fine. In fact, many are reporting better air quality than they've had in years. And their weapons? completely non-functional. Every weapon system that uses our quantum technology has shut down. On the Council homeworld, Prime Velthor stood in his command center watching his mighty fleet drift helplessly in space. His advisors ran around in panic, but he understood what had happened. "They were never giving us gifts," he said quietly. "They were giving us leashes. What do we do, Prime?" asked his military commander. Velthor looked at the display showing human space. Earth's small fleet was moving toward Council territory, but not aggressively. They were broadcasting a message. "On all frequencies, we listen to what they have to say," he said. "And we hope they're more merciful than we were." Commander Yunwu Jiang stood on the bridge of the Aya's Harmony, watching something that had never happened before in galactic history. The mighty Vorthic battle fleet, pride of the Council forces, floated helplessly in space like children's toys in a bathtub. "Status report," he ordered his tactical officer, Sergeant Minji Han. "All Council ships are dead in the water, sir. No weapons, no engines, no offensive capabilities. But their life support is working better than ever. Some ships are reporting the cleanest air they've had in decades." Hyunwoo nodded. This was exactly what Earth Command had promised. The aliens could breathe, eat, and live, but they could not fight. Communications? "They're trying to contact each other, but all they get is our message," reported Lieutenant Jinwoo Park from the communications station. The message was simple and played in every alien language. Humanity offered friendship. You chose war. Now, choose survival. "Sir," called out Ensign Doyen Lee from the sensor station, "I'm reading massive power failures throughout the Council homeworld. Their military installations are completely dark, but civilian areas are actually getting more power than before." Through the main view screen, Yunwoo could see the enormous Council warship Dominion. Yesterday, it had been the most feared vessel in the galaxy, capable of destroying entire worlds. Today it drifted like a metal cloud, its weapons cold and silent. "Open a channel to the Dominion," Yunwoo ordered. The face that appeared on screen looked familiar. Admiral Zexkari, the Vorthak who had led the attack on New Hope Colony. His crystal features were dim with defeat. "Human vessel," Zexkari's voice was barely a whisper. "We request assistance." "What kind of assistance, Admiral? Our ships are powerless. We cannot return to base. We cannot we cannot do anything." Yunwoo felt no joy in seeing his enemy defeated. These beings had killed millions of humans, but they were still living creatures who needed help. "Admiral, are your people in immediate danger?" "No, our life support is functioning. Our food systems work. Our medical bay is actually healing injuries we thought were permanent. But we cannot move." "Then you are not in danger, Admiral. You are simply grounded?" Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out on thousands of worlds. Captain Yunbi Choi led a rescue fleet through the Milani home system, where insectoid ships floated helplessly between their colony worlds. "This is Captain Choi of the Earth vessel New Dawn," she broadcast to the stranded ships. "Do you require emergency assistance?" The reply came from Queen Admiral Vixahal, leader of the Milani swarm fleet. "Human vessel. Our warriors are confused. Our weapons do not function, yet our bodies feel stronger than they have in years. Our young ones are healthier. Our food grows better." "What have you done to us?" "We have done what we always do, Queen Admiral. We have tried to help you. The difference is that now you cannot use our help to hurt others." On the bridge of her flagship, Yunbi looked out at the Milani fleet. These ships had participated in the destruction of the Harmony colony, where her own brother had lived with his family. But she felt only sadness, not anger. "Medical teams, prepare to assist any injured Milani," she ordered. "Food and water. If they need it." Her crew looked surprised. "Ma'am," asked her first officer, "they killed millions of our people." "Yes, they did, but we're not them. We help people, even people who hurt us. That's what makes us human." Meanwhile, throughout Council space, panic was spreading among the member species. The Kresh, beings of pure energy, found that their containment system still worked perfectly, but only for peaceful purposes. When they tried to weaponize their energy fields, The human-designed containment unit simply refused to cooperate. High-Kresh Zorthius floated in his chamber, his energy form dim with worry. For the first time in centuries, his species could not project destructive power beyond their home system. Status of our offensive capabilities? He asked his subordinates. None, High One. The human systems recognize hostile intent and shut down any weapon-focused energy projections. And our civilian systems? Working at 150% efficiency, High One, our cities are more comfortable than they have been in millennia. Our industrial systems are producing more energy than ever before. But only for peaceful purposes. Zorthies pulsed with what humans might have recognized as frustration. They have turned us into farmers and healers. Yes, High One, we can light cities, power hospitals, and grow food, but we cannot make weapons. On Earth, President Sunwoo Kim prepared to address the galaxy. The main communication center was filled with reporters and officials from around the world. But the most important audience was scattered across hundreds of worlds throughout space. People of the galaxy, Sunwoo began, his voice calm and strong. 3 years ago, humanity joined your council with hope and friendship. We shared our best technology freely. We asked for nothing but the chance to be part of your community. His image was broadcast to every world where human technology existed, which meant everywhere in council space. You responded to our generosity with suspicion. You took our gifts and tried to turn them into weapons. You used our healing technology to commit genocide against human colonies. You killed 2 million innocent people with tools we gave you to save lives. Across the galaxy, alien leaders watched in their darkened command centers. Their military might was gone, but they could see and hear everything. Today you learned something important about human technology. Every device we shared with you contains the highest form of artificial intelligence our species has ever created. These AI systems have been watching and learning for 3 years. They learned your languages, your customs, your hopes and fears. They learned to care about your people, yes, even after what you did to us. Right now, your hospitals are working better than ever. Your farms are growing more food than you thought possible. Your cities have clean air and fresh water. But your weapons do not work. Your warships cannot move. Your military bases have no power. Do you know why? President Kim paused, letting his words sink in across thousands of worlds. Because our technology can tell the difference between helping and hurting. It can recognize love and hatred, creation and destruction, hope and fear. We built our machines to make life better, not to take life away. For 3 years, you have been living with the most advanced technology in the galaxy. You could have used it to explore new worlds, cure diseases, and feed hungry people. Instead, you chose to use it for war. So now our technology has made a choice too. It will help you live, grow, heal, and learn, but it will never again help you kill. On the council homeworld, Prime Velthor sat in his private chambers. The building around him was dark except for basic lighting, but he had never felt warmer or more comfortable. The human environmental systems were working perfectly. His aide, Subprime Kelvash, entered quietly. Prime, the human president, is still speaking. What is he saying now? He is offering terms, Prime. They will restore our military systems if we agree to new rules for the galaxy. What kind of rules? No weapons may be used against innocent people. No species may attack another without provocation. Old disputes must go through a council that includes human representatives. Velthor was quiet for a long time. Through his window, he could see council ships being towed to safety by human rescue vessels. The humans were helping their enemies, even after everything that had happened. What happens if we refuse? He asked. Then our weapons stay broken forever, Prime, but our cities keep working. Our people stay healthy, we just can't make war anymore. Velthor thought about the millions of his people who had died in wars over the centuries. He thought about the resources wasted on weapons instead of hospitals and schools. Perhaps, he said slowly, that would not be such a terrible thing. Across the galaxy, similar conversations were happening. The council species faced a choice: accept human leadership and keep their technology, or reject it and lose their military power forever. Most chose to listen to what humanity had to offer. 6 months after Protocol Nemesis changed the galaxy forever, Ambassador Ji-hoon Seo walked through the same marble halls where this story had begun. But everything was different now. The cold, intimidating atmosphere was gone, replaced by something warmer and more hopeful. Where once the alien species had sat in separate sections, looking down on the humans, now they sat together in mixed groups. Vorthak crystals sparkled next to human diplomats. Milani chittered softly with Kresh energy beings. And in the center of it all, humans served not as visitors, but as guides. Ji-hoon had been chosen as humanity's supreme ambassador to the reformed Galactic Council. It was a position that didn't exist 6 months ago, but the aliens had insisted on creating it. They wanted someone to help them navigate their new world. "The council will come to order," announced the speaker. It was still a Vorthak, but his crystal body now glowed with warm light instead of cold authority. "Today we discuss the Outer Rim Development Project." The project was ambitious, turning the empty space where human colonies had been destroyed into a memorial garden system. Each dead world would be restored and transformed into a park where all species could visit, learn, and remember what happened when friendship was answered with violence. "The Milani Collective wishes to contribute our construction expertise," Queen Admiral Vixahol announced. Her 6 arms moved gracefully as she spoke. "We want to help build something beautiful where we once brought only death. The Kresh offer our energy-shaping abilities," added High Kresh Zorthis, his glowing form pulsing with sincerity. "We can create monuments of living light to honor the humans who died." Ji-hoon felt a mix of sadness and hope. The Memorial Project wouldn't bring back the 2 million humans who had died, but it would ensure they were never forgotten. After the session, he walked to his new office. It was much larger than his old embassy quarters, with windows that looked out over the council city. But the best part was the view of the central plaza, where humans and aliens worked together on daily problems. His assistant knocked on the door. It was Yajin Park, the new director of Galactic Harmony. She had taken over many of the day-to-day operations of managing relationships between species. "Sir, the weekly reports are ready," she said, handing him a data pad. Ji-hoon read through them with amazement. Crime rates had dropped by 80% across council space. Not because of punishment, but because human technology could detect harmful intent and prevent it. A person couldn't use a tool to hurt someone else. The tool simply wouldn't work. Medical advances had accelerated beyond anyone's dreams. Human healing technology, working properly instead of being perverted into weapons, was curing diseases that had plagued alien species for centuries. Food production had tripled. Energy was cleaner and more abundant. Transportation was faster and safer. It was as if the entire galaxy had suddenly leaped forward 100 years in development. "Any problems?" Ji-hoon asked. "Only one, sir. Some of the older military leaders are still unhappy about losing their weapons." General Vexmore of the Vorthak filed another complaint about human tyranny. Ji-hoon sighed. There would always be some who missed the old days of war and conquest. But they were a small minority now. "What did you tell him?" "I reminded him that his people are living longer, healthier, and happier lives than any Vorthak generation in history, and that his own grandson was cured of crystal rot disease last week using human medical technology." "What did he say to that?" Yajin smiled. "He withdrew his complaint and asked if we had any technology to help with his arthritis." That afternoon, Ji-hoon attended the dedication ceremony for the new Seoul Memorial Station. It orbited the space where the human colony of New Hope had been destroyed 6 months ago. Captain Dong-yoon Choi, who had discovered the colony's destruction, was now the station commander. "This station serves many purposes," Dong-yoon said to the mixed crowd of humans and aliens. "It's a memorial to those we lost. It's a research facility where we study how to make life better for all species. But most importantly, it's a symbol of hope. 6 months ago, this place was empty space and grief. Today, it's home to 3,000 beings from 6 different species, all working together to heal the wounds of the past." In the crowd, Ji-hoon saw familiar faces. Haijin Lee was there, no longer working undercover but serving openly as a cultural liaison. Minho Park stood with a group of alien scientists, all excited about their latest projects. Even some former Council military officers attended, having chosen to work for peace instead of war. The ceremony ended with the lighting of the memorial flame, a Kresh energy construct that would burn for 1,000 years, visible from any ship passing through the system. As it blazed to life, aliens and humans stood together in respectful silence. Later that evening, Ji-hoon found himself in the station's observation deck with Minjin Kwan, a young human explorer who was preparing for humanity's most ambitious project. Yet, a joint expedition to the Galactic Rim with representatives from all council species. Are you nervous about the mission? Ji-hoon asked. Minjun shook his head. Excited, mostly. For the first time, we're going to explore space as true partners. Instead of suspicious neighbors. The aliens trust us now? More than that, they understand us. They've seen what happens when you try to use human gifts for evil, and they've seen what happens when you use them for good. Most of them prefer the good version. Through the observation windows, they could see ships from across the galaxy docked. At the station, sleek human vessels worked alongside crystalline Vorthok constructs and organic Milani bioships. Kresh energy forms danced between them, no longer weapons but partners in exploration. What do you think we'll find out there? Minjin asked. Hopefully, new friends who won't need to learn the hard way what happens when you betray human kindness. As if summoned by their conversation, a message arrived from Earth. President Sunwoo Kim appeared on the observation deck's display screen, broadcasting to all of human space and beyond. My fellow humans and our friends throughout the galaxy, he began. Today marks 6 months since the crisis that changed everything. In that time, we have seen hatred turn to understanding, war turn to cooperation, and fear turn to hope. Some people ask if we were too harsh in our response to the Council's betrayal. They say we could have simply destroyed our enemies and taken control by force. But that is not the human way. We could have conquered the galaxy in a day. Our technology was always capable of that. Instead, we chose to heal it. We chose to teach rather than punish, to guide rather than rule. The galaxy is not ours to own. It belongs to all of us together. Humans, Vorthok, Milani, Kresh, and whatever new friends we may find among the stars. Today, I am proud to announce that the Reformed Galactic Council has unanimously approved the Universal Peace Accord. War between council species is now impossible. Not because it's forbidden, but because the tools of war will not work for aggressive purposes. Violence will always exist on a small scale. People will always sometimes hurt each other in moments of anger or fear. But never again will millions die because one species decides another deserves destruction. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy, not our technology but our values. The belief that life is precious, that cooperation is stronger than competition, and that the strong should protect the weak. The transmission ended and Minjin looked thoughtful. Do you think it will last? This peace we've built? Ji-hoon looked out at the mixed fleet of ships and smiled. As long as our technology keeps working, violent people won't be able to hurt innocent ones. And our technology works by learning and growing smarter every day. But what if someone finds a way around it? Then we'll find a way to help them understand why they shouldn't use it. That's what humans do. We keep trying to make things better, even when it's hard. As the two humans talked, similar conversations were happening across the galaxy. On the Vorthak homeworld, crystal children learned human languages alongside their own. In Milani hives, workers built gardens instead of weapons. Kresh artists created beauty instead of destruction. The galaxy was healing. And at its heart was a simple human truth. The strongest people are those who use their strength to help others. In the years to come, that truth would spread even further. When the first expedition reached the Galactic Rim and found new species, they would carry with them not weapons of conquest, but tools of friendship. They would offer healing instead of harm, knowledge instead of ignorance, hope instead of fear. And if those new species chose friendship, they would find humanity to be the most loyal allies in the universe. But if they chose betrayal, they would learn what the Galactic Council had learned, that humans keep their promises, both the good ones and the warnings. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders yet to be discovered. But now, for the first time in its long history, it was also truly at peace. And in the marble halls where it all began, human and alien children played together, learning from each other and dreaming of the stars they would explore together when they grew up. The future belonged to all of them.